We're back, trade the NASDAQ. Today, I am bullish, but I'm honestly starting to lean a little bit bearish, just the way that markets are looking right now. Coming into the day, we had this unfilled 1 hour gap and this unfilled 4 hour gap up here. Pre-market, we are just distributing through this 1 hour gap now. It looks like ES and NQ want to come up to this swing high, which is not swing high, this interior high, which is a 4 hour gap, and then ES also has this internal high. So maybe ES wants to come up, sweep this internal high, and then get some sort of short lower. Same thing with ES, maybe ES, or same thing with NQ. Maybe NQ wants to come up, sweep this internal high, and hit that 4 hour gap. We're just kind of distributing through this 1 hour gap right now. We have straight LR though, and then we have this internal low, which is a data wick, because Trump announced something like 8:45, 8:50 about the straight, which he's been doing like every single morning, which is fine. I don't mind a data wick to target. But yeah, we have all this length of liquidity, also this 5-minute balance that I have marked out to potentially target. It looks like another one will open, but more than likely, if we're going to get a short, it'd probably be to one of these more discounted 5-minute gaps. Either way, the only long I'd want to see is coming into the day, I want us to come lower and sweep out this data wick, this internal low, and then get along to the 1 hour. But now that we've just distributed to the 1 hour and through it, I kind of want to get a short, like a rebalance play to an imbalance. I do believe that we want to come to this 4 hour now, probably, unless we get just direct manipulation lower. I will mark out this 5-minute on ES. It's the same 5-minute I have marked out on NQ. As of right now, this 1 hour gap on both pairs doesn't really mean anything, because if you think about key moments of a fair value gap, and you have your initial mitigation sweep and now this CE tap, and it looks like you could be getting your entry pre-market right here, which would probably be this 30-second closure right here. You get this inversion, get the CISD. This would be your trade. If it's going to distribute off this 1 hour, it's literally going to be now you're reacting off of CE. I do something like this, maybe even just like this body, something like that. But it is pre-market, so of course I am not taking it. But you could do something like this, take your 1-to-1, and it's probably going to get smoked. So the fact that we're just distributing through this 1 hour gap is really starting to just make me at least think we want a deeper retrace, and then we are delivering strong rejection off of this 4 hour gap that this internal low sits in. So and overall, we're just closing out of this range, looking like we're starting to have a bullish move. But I wouldn't mind shorts like my long or my short on Monday, where it was a short to a 5-minute gap, and that 5-minute gap is pretty much what price would use to then continue higher. So if I get that true manipulation, good PO3, good structure, and I get a short to an imbalance or something like that, even though the move is probably bullish, I wouldn't mind that. There's also just nothing to really manipulate into for a bullish move. We shall see. I will remove this 1 hour gap though, just because it's not really indicative. We do have this other 15-minute gap, but I don't know. We'll see. The structure looks pretty good, especially that there's an imbalance to target. It just looks like ES wants to come to this internal 1 hour high. So we shall see what price does at market open. Market has opened directly going higher. ES taking out that internal low, or internal high, excuse me. Currently SMTing this internal high, and Q manipulating into that 15-minute. I would not mind a trade off of this. I don't mind. Just, are we going to get an entry is the question. Are we going to get the entry is the question. I would not mind this Judas. Be something like this. Oh, I like this. It's fine. ES is swooping that internal high. We're going to get that Reese sweep, it looks like, potentially. We're about 50 points away from this 4 hour gap, so maybe NQ wants to climb to this 4 hour, which that's fine. I like the fact that it's just direct PO3, just straight higher. I really like that. Price could want all this length of liquidity above, but I don't mind this. We wicked equilibrium as well. We did edge the 4 hour gap. It's the only thing I don't like is we edge the 4 hour gap. Prefer price to just come up into that 4 hour gap. And I wouldn't be comfortable taking this 30-second because it's in a 1 minute, and then now it'll be in a 2 minute. So it would have to be this 2 minute short if I did take a short off of where price is right now. And it's just like hopefully we want to hit this 4 hour, because I do not want to take this 2 minute. Hopefully we want to come up to this 4 hour. I like this SMT. I do. Yes, get that 1 minute stop hunt. As of right now, it would be this 4 minute inversion to take a short. And then a 5-minute will form in 4 minutes. So at this point, I would take this 4 minute. It's just such a large stop loss. Hoping that we're using this 3 minute to push us higher into this 4 hour and then get the short that I want. That is what I'm hoping. But I honestly would rather take an unsponsored cont to the 5 minute, because this plays to the 5 minute, because Price wants to seek this 5 minute to then go to the 4 hour. So either A, I want us to resweep, hit this 4 hour gap, or B, hit this 5 minute, and I'll take an unsponsored con to the 5 minute. I wouldn't mind that. Wow. Large manipulation legs. 945 coming in strong. I mean, we're just pumping. I mean, it looks like ES just wants to run all this liquidity. We've had 0 rebalances, so I don't mind this. So I'm in this 1 minute, targeting this 5 minute gap. Stacked PO3, rejecting off a CE, the 4 hour gap. It's a 1 minute inversion, strong 1 minute close, targeting this 5 minute imbalance. Got a pretty good feel on where the inversion was. I like the trade, stacked PO3. A little bit oversized where it actually ended up inversing. Probably should have went with 6, but I went with 7 contracts. The only thing I don't like is where ES is at, but we have an unfilled imbalance, stacked PO3, good structure leading up to the imbalance. But what I like is we've only distributed higher. So we have just straight PO3 since 930. I don't know. I like the trade. If it loses, can't be too mad. Hopefully we get a good distribution lower. The 930 just pushed directly higher. 945 open, pushed directly higher, rejecting off of CE of the 4 hour gap, unfilled 5 minute gap below, and there's also another unfilled 15 minute gap way below us. Obviously not going to hold all the way to this 15 minute, but I don't know. I like the trade, giving myself about 40 points for a stop loss to move. So I like the trade. I like the stack PO3. Just gotta let it play now. This is inside of a 5 minute, but to me this 5 minute is just noise. I wouldn't go break even until ES hits my 5 minutes. So, because we don't have that 5 minute on NQ. So, could be enough for ES to reject higher and clear out the rest of this slanted liquidity, like I said, but I don't like that rejection. I don't like that. Might be a loss. But you know what? I accepted the risk. I liked the trade. I didn't see a reason to go break even. I still don't. I can't even right now, but to me, this 5 minute on ES is just noise because we don't even have that 5 minute. So, we shall see. If we're going to be bearish, it's going to be right now. So it is a no news week. So, I am a little upset that I kind of over risked on this just where it inversed. Wow. Big jump in volatility. Wow. I want that volatility lower. I'm going to get stopped out on this. Unfortunately, it looks like. Unfortunately. And ES is just respecting that 5 minute. All right. Took an L on this one. Honestly, I'm fine taking a loss here. Stack PO3 reacted off a CE, this 4 hour gap, 5 minute imbalance to target. The only thing that sucked, like I said, is that ES was just kind of in the middle of all this slanted liquidity. Maybe that's something to journal. ES just really isn't in a position to distribute lower yet. Also, ES opened up its own 5 minute gap, which to me, the 5 minute gap on ES was just noise because we didn't have that 5 minute gap. We had a lot more reason to retrace lower to this other 5 minute gap. To me, I like the loss. Is it kind of weird conditions? Sure, but I got to be able to put risk on the table. So I'll take that loss. Is what it is. Going to move forward. But anyway, if you guys enjoy this kind of content, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.